The governor's appointed Executive Water Finance Board came to St. George to review costs and concerns of the controversial Lake Powell Pipeline.
The governor set up this board last year, 2017, through an executive order and charged us with looking at the fiscal and economic impacts of water projects throughout the state.
About 160 people came to listen and share their concerns or reasons for support of the projected 140-mile-long pipeline. The LPP program director gave residents insights into why the new resource is needed and estimated costs.
We look at southern Utah, it's extremely prone to drought. What does that really affect? It affects the fact that we've got one source of water here. It's all Virgin River Water Basin water. That water is going to be under extreme conditions with climate change. And so we have to look for a way to diversify. We can clearly state that if you relied very, very significantly on conservation and didn't pursue the second source that we're talking about, it's going to be as expensive or more expensive than LPP.
Citizens lined up to voice their thoughts and financial concerns. The biggest was not knowing how much their water bills will go up in the near future.
I have no margin for any of this to happen. And for 2 years, I have been waiting to see what the numbers are.
It seems like a huge burden on the taxpayers of this county, not to mention that I have serious concerns about our property values.
How many of you on this commission would go to a car dealer, pick out a car, sign a contract, and then 3 hours later, after it's sealed and signed, the dealer tells you how much he's going to charge you for that car?
How much is it going to cost, and who's going to pay for it?
While the estimated cost to build the pipeline is somewhere between $1.1 to $1.8 billion, others say it will triple that.
It is time to bring us this $3 billion or $4 billion or $5 billion cost estimate. It's time to stop talking about games with numbers. It is time to stop pretending like this is a $1 billion project. It can't be.
But there are those who see the need for more than one water source in the area and believe the pipeline is the answer for the future, no matter what the cost.
We need this water. I think it's very concerning to fool ourselves into the idea that we can be dependent on just one water source for Washington County.
To me, it boils down to this. Without LPP, ultimately we reach a state of no growth.
I feel that water is going to be the most important economic driver and create jobs and give us the vitality that we need.
We are going to continue to grow. Builders just don't build new housing. They do it because there's a demand. And we definitely are in support of the Lake Powell Pipeline.
Most people want to have a say in the project, and that comes down to a vote.
You better give us all a chance to vote, folks. If you don't let the locals vote on this and decide yes or no, you are in big trouble.
Just be careful when you say you want to vote for it. Worse than anything is if you turn on the spigot and water doesn't come on. That will be a travesty.
While the Lake Powell Pipeline has already been passed by the Utah legislature, the governor has said there will be a vote after full costs or impacts on residents is known. The governor also wants the process to be transparent and plans on having an independent validation of those cost estimates. One way to keep those costs down is to do much more in the way of conservation.
And we have to do the very best we can, as several have mentioned, with reuse, with irrigation, with the water that we have already available to us. And there is much being done, more will need to be done in the future.
We are a desert. People who lived in deserts know how to conserve. That's why we conserve.
The water line would transport an estimated 84,000 acre-feet of water from Lake Powell to Washington and Kane Counties. This water is derived from the Colorado River, which Utah has water rights for and currently isn't using.
That's our water. It's not California, it's not Nevada, it's not Arizona, it's our water.
With southern Utah's projected population to triple near 500,000 by the year 2060, the need is to plan for the future.
You've got projections of 500,000 people here. You don't have projections as to what would happen if there was slow growth.
Whatever the final costs, the loan will still have to be repaid to the state over time with interest.
The biggest issue is there are a lot of things that still need to be vetted with the process of looking at the Lake Powell Pipeline, financial issues, understanding current water use and what is happening with current water use, making sure that it's being used as efficiently as possible before the state puts resources into the Lake Powell Pipeline, and then just making sure that after these conditions are met, the financing terms for the project are sound fiscally, both at the state level and at the local level.
If all goes as projected, the soonest the project could begin is 2023. In St. George, Melissa Anderson, CEC News.